On the Fringe with Dan radio style. Hope everybody out there is having themselves a great day. Folks, just first off, we're blessed. We are super blessed. First off, we live in the United States, most of us anyways, or at least the Western Hemisphere, or, the Western world. We are doing well. Concept of poverty is not really something we understand, even close. Closest thing we have is homelessness, right? We are blessed. Now, more importantly, we're blessed because you and I get to take part in one of the greatest moments in history. We get to be a part of it. One of the ripple makers. It's funny as I keep hearing the term ripples thrown around everywhere. It's mostly because of my own, zeitgeist, if you will, within myself. I manifest it, of course. But I am seeing it pop up in all sorts of different avenues. It's kind of making me chuckle a little bit. I'm like, good job, Dan. You're spreading the ripples in your own way. Not that I invented the term, but I feel like I'm making it popular. Making it great again, they say. Making ripples great again. We are changing the world. A lot is happening. Pam Bondi, she's going to be a very busy lady. Got a lot of news to talk about. A lot happening. Trump fighting the legal fight. We've got more judges jumping on in weird places. Like, it's part of what we're experiencing right now. It's part of what needs to happen. Our system needs to be tested. I think it's going to do fine. I think it's going to hold up. I think there's places where Trump's going to ignore some of the courts that aren't being really legal. Good example, San Francisco case we'll talk about. But I also think he's going to when he has to. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see which criminals get caught up in this. We'll see really who the first real arrest is. I can't wait. That's a Q post I'm expecting. More so even than the storm is upon us tweet, right? Like that's the one, or X post, right? That's the one that everyone really wants. I want to see who the first arrest is, frankly. I care less about the when it rains storm tweet thing. It'll be cool when it happens. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna be like, whatever. No, that'll be significant. But we are changing the world. Whoops, that's definitely not where we should be. What happened? Uh-oh. There we go. That scared me for half a second. Wowzers. Okay. We got some good music coming up, too, for the Friday show tomorrow. Going to be doing an alternative, kind of grunge, kind of, 90s, 2000 rock. Pretty cool music. The end's really sweet. The beginning's really sweet. Everything in the middle's perfect. Like, it's a really good show. I think you guys are going to dig it. So join us 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Mountain. Like anyone cares about Mountain Time. I say that in jest, actually. I feel bad for Mountain people because we don't really honestly give a shit about Mountain Time. Used to be. I want to start here because this is a great place to let people know. Like, if you're going to be, your post, your tweet, your whatevering, right? You're out there doing your thing, you're TikToking, whatever the shit you do, it's your thing. And people will comment. I want you to understand that not everybody who comments is actually, one, a real person, two, somebody that's even worth wasting your time on. We need to learn to discern. Many would say, it's not that big a deal. It's not when there's 3 people in the comments. It does when there's 100. Because if 5 of them are shit posters, you're going to spend a lot of time dealing with shit posts. And it doesn't help you. Focus on the thing that you're good at. That's putting out good posts. That's putting out information that people want to see. It's not responding to shit posters. This is a great example of a shit poster. I hopefully can do this. There we go. And I think the speed, I got to fix the speed, so we'll do that too.
One of the best ways to drain people's energy nowadays is via the internet. This woman is an astrophysicist. Actually, this is not how space works. Read a book. Now I just wait for the comments to come in. Hey, can you mansplain any louder? Yeah, sure. These are all different accounts that I have set up. The energy you get this way isn't quite as pure, but if you do enough of it, it'll fill you up. Shanghai sucked. Where was the Chinatown? Jason Mraz is just too weird for me. Jesus actually hates horses. Childhood obesity, LMFO. When they call you a dumbass, you know you've got them. They called me a dumbass. Women are getting too tall. Yeah. You can drain their energy via social media without having to even be near them. That is racist. You're correct. It is. Oh, yeah. 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 Oh, they hate me.
It's surprisingly simple to get total strangers completely furious with you.
They should get a life.
I don't think a lot of people realize how this isn't fictional. This is not some sort of bullshit thing. This is literally people like that out there, and they feed on it. I mean, again, some call it louche. I think actually evil people feed on freaking people out. I actually think they do. Talking about trolling, which is funny, by the way. I got to laugh at Melissa Hallman on this one. I got to laugh at you, Melissa. I'm sorry. I love you, by the way. Connecting Anons. Very good work she does. Eric Trump, first post she puts out. Eric Trump doing a little trolling. For sure. Trump 2028. It's 2025 right now. We got a ways to go, right? Which, by the way, yeah, that's right. That'd be right. But, I don't know, within, how long was it? 1 hour? Within a short period of time, she circles back on herself and says, is Eric Trump dropping a hint here? Oh, my God. People, you guys, he's trolling. Even if it's true. Even if Trump does run, which, by the way, that would be fucked up if he does. Here's the thing where most people don't get it. We're relying on this dude. It's not because he's not capable. He's great. He's wonderful. He's awesome. Let the guy have his last few years of life. Let him enjoy it with his family. Why does he need to be president and working his ass off? That's what's funny to me. People are like, we should have Trump again. You think Trump wants to work 23 hours a day for the rest of his life? Really? For no money, by the way? Do you really think that's what Trump wants to do? Maybe we should step up. Maybe Eric should step up, or Don Jr., or hell, who knows, right? J.D. Vance is a good choice. So again, trolling, yes, probably for sure. I mean, again, I'd love to see Trump in office, but it's silly, and it's weird to talk about it right now. We got a ways to go, a lot of things to get through. Judge Caller Cotelli, she's halting. Let's try that word. She's halting parts of Trump's order mandating federal agencies to enforce citizenship proof for voter registration. She rules it's Congress's call, not Trump's alone. We got a district court, which is really the equivalent to just a regular old court. The appellate court still above a district court, and then there's the Supreme Court above them. And this itty-bitty little court has decided Trump has, he can't do citizenship for the entire country. Who is this guy? Again, we're going to see lots of this continue to happen. It's a lot of fun. The Democrats, this is Donald Trump truthing this out. The Democrats are fighting like hell to keep murderers and all other types of criminals solidly in the United States of America. They have gone crazy, and they are only getting worse. It's 100% true. 100% true. Do you support Tom Homan arresting Democrat mayors who block deportations? Hell yeah, I support Tom Homan. Federal judge in Maryland. Yeah, he's ordered the Trump administration to facilitate the return of a 20-year-old Venezuelan man deported to El Salvador whose removal violated a previous court settlement. This is actually a Trump judge, by the way, which I don't think it matters, frankly, in my opinion. So we have a judge saying you shouldn't have deported this guy, Trump probably claiming that this individual was deported because they were a gang member, regardless of what this asylum seeker wanted. If they're gang members, that would supersede any other orders. Again, a lot of wonderful things are going to pop up through the courts. This is great. I don't give a shit that it's a Trump lawyer or a judge. That doesn't bother me in the slightest. Cool. She's doing a good job. Good for you, Judge Stephanie Gallagher. I don't think Trump should give a shit what you think, but cool. Go on it. Because ultimately, and we'll likely find this out in the not too distant future. I don't think it's as close as we'd like it to be. But we're going to find out that ultimately the president does get to decide who a terrorist and who isn't terrorist. And if you're a terrorist and it's found you're a terrorist, there's no courts. There's no chance. You get a chance to fight this. No. You are enemy of state. You are out. Period. While you're out, you can fight from there to come back. Totally cool. Don't give a shit all. You can do it all day long, every day, 365, 7 days a week. Woo, you go, girl. Snap. But otherwise, shut the fuck up. I don't care. That's not how this needs to play out. Again, if you're a gangbanger, Trump's going to have a post here at some point. If you came here like cool and then became a gangbanger, I'm sorry. Sorry. Now, it's kind of funny. Someone, and I, maybe you can respond to the email back. When he sent me this email, he's like, the history of the Catholic Church. And I'm like, it was an hour long, by the way, which I have not watched. People just cold drop shit all the time. They're like, you should watch this. It's like, and I responded, why? Like, tell me, what is it that because otherwise you're asking me to waste, even at 1.5 speed, it's 30 minutes of my life. For what? Because there's stuff I find just fine all on my own. I don't need help. I know exactly what I'm looking for the most part. So when we find things that are uncomfortable, we want to share it with others. We're like, I don't know if you understand how jacked up the Catholic Church is. I have a very good understanding of how jacked up the Catholic Church is. Talked a lot about it. Here's a great example. I can't validate that this is in fact inside of like the Vatican or anything. But this is definitely an example of the Black Pope side of things. And this could be from the Vatican because there is an Antichrist or an Antichristos within the Christos. Still the yin and the yang. We're still in a place of duality. That's changing, so this is part of why a lot of the duality mechanisms are falling apart and failing. But this is concerning for some, but this is Catholic Church. Black side of it. Be honest, it's kind of weird to see a chicken in there with like boots on, so who knows. But still, strange stuff. And these sorts of organizations exist all over the place. And again, I don't know, this is within a church most likely, but not sure if this is per se the Vatican or anything like that. Well, I can't verify that. Still crazy. So Catcherd put this out, and it's pretty funny. So we arrested the guy who owned the sex island, and we arrested the woman who brought the children to the sex island, but we haven't arrested the clients who paid to rape the children on the sex island. Now, here's the funny thing. It's something that happened in a location that's not ours as the United States. Technically could be part of this world land, whatever the hell, where sex with children's legal. Just going to throw that out there with you guys just so you can mull that over. Do the world courts have jurisdiction over someone that owns the whole damn island? Not necessarily part of any country? I don't know. I mean, again, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just bringing up points. This is jacked up. There's a man in North Kansas City, the YMCA. Well, guess what sort of surprises exist for 7-year-olds and their mothers at the YMCA. Apparently, there was a woman that went into the locker room of the other women, a woman and her daughter, and this dude exposed her penis to the 7-year-old. And the YMCA is like, people are allowed to do what they basically want to do. If they want to go into the women's locker room because they feel like they're a woman today, then they're allowed to do that. So, there you go. So, just saying, if you guys live in North Kansas City and you're in Missouri, y'all need to fight for your state. You got to stop waiting for someone else to fix your problems. You need to start making some friggin' ripples and some noise because that's just insanity. So, yeah, we got a teen accused of sparking a massive New Jersey wildfire. I was just kind of shocked on this part. Of course it was arson. Really? Like, why is it easier to believe that they used energy weapons than a friggin' homeless person that's addicted to drugs, a match? I don't understand why, or a lighter. Let's make it a lighter, because that's probably, actually, it's harder to believe they used a match. They're hard to find. Why is it easier to believe they used exotic weapons to start fires than a fucking lighter, man? Why? You get a homeless person that's on drugs, you're like, I'll give you some drugs. Can you go start a fire? And when I hear about the fact that there's a fire started over there, and then I'm going to give you some drugs. Okay, I'll go start a fire over there. All right, I'll see you in a little bit. That's how that works. Easy. Then it's the homeless person that did it, not some exotic weapons. I'm sorry. It could be exotic weapons. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm just saying, why always jump to that as the go-to? Well, it's got to be exotic weapons. No, it could have been a dude with a lighter. Really could have been. Easy to do, especially when there's wind. I'm not saying it's always that way, but it's not always not that way, right? So, yeah, just saying. I just thought it was kind of weird. Mystery as a major U.S. city is hit by public health emergency with toxic chemicals filling the air. No idea what's going on out there in the Chicago area. Major bad numbers. This is AQI rating or whatever. It supposedly got over 500, I think, at some point. An AQI of 500 denotes extremely hazardous air, I should say. And they were reading records that were 500 on this index. Damn near pegging this. Don't know what happened in Chicago, but there's people that are asking, is it okay to be outside in Chicago? Probably never. Frankly, you're probably more likely to get shot than die from the air, but it seems something nasty is going on. We'll see. I don't know if we find anything out. Weird thing that's going to suck for these climate change people. Big time. And I don't know if this suggests that maybe climate changing stuff is being curtailed because money's not going towards it, U.S. aid funding being cut, maybe, who knows? But this is just an interesting piece of factual information that I'm sure the deep state hates.
Interesting note on El Nino, it just had a stroke. Warmer eastern Pacific waters were expected to dominate this season, but they have begun plummeting. Blue near the equator. Will El Nino completely fall apart before our eyes in May? We're going to see. Up next, we're going to space where astronomers have found an...
So, yeah, interesting that El Nino's whole hot thing that they need in the middle, not happening right now. Not happening right now. Interesting. They're going to have a hard time pushing. They're going to have a hard time pushing a lot of this nonsense. That's what's coming down to. So we'll see exactly how things play out. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Steve Witkoff as well. They're doing a special envoy to the Middle East. They're responding to a fake news story from Politico claiming that the Trump administration is considering lifting sanctions against Russia. Not true. Bunch of fake news stuff going on right now. It's kind of interesting. Got another fake news story here as well. Pete Hegseth responding to a totally fake story. No orders and no makeup, but whatever. And two, we should have installed tampon machines in every men's bathroom at DOD instead. The leftist news media would have loved that. Responding to CBS Mornings, their stupid Twitter, Hegseth orders makeup studio installed at Pentagon. Just making shit up. Tren de Aragua in league with Maduro, Gabbard, and Patel, say, after illegal classified leaks. Again, a leak from somebody making claims about Tulsi Gabbard, FBI Cash Patel, and their whole view of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. Somebody that probably left the agency, leaked information, and now everybody's running with it like it's actually true. That's a bunch of nonsense, frankly. Financial world, we got a bunch of weird stuff going on right now. India and Pakistan are like pissed off at each other. Apparently in the Kashmir area, not just a great Led Zeppelin song, but also a problematic area in the world. Two nuclear countries that hate each other. Fucking hate each other. This is the worst hatred I am aware of on the planet. Honestly, there's people that hate Jews. India and Pakistan, they fucking hate each other. It's weird, by the way, how much they hate. So they've canceled visas. They are pissed off. There's some sort of skirmish that happened. I'm calling it that. I don't know a lot about the details of what happened in Kashmir, but something recently happened in Kashmir. So they're shutting down visas. They are also announcing immediate suspension of all trade with India, and that includes countries that are shipping through them to India, and they're a border nation. They're like, no. So China's probably going to get involved in this. Again, this is an interesting group of people. It's an interesting place in the world. Pakistan and India both have nuclear weapons, and they're sitting right next door to China. This is, I think, to an extent, well, it's a few things. It's a big problem for China. It's a big distraction from China. It's China having to go, shit, we got this happening over here too. We were trying to deal with this Taiwan thing. Now we got this. And I don't know if we're behind it or if the good guys are behind. I don't know. But this poses a huge problem for the deep state in general. It creates a whole nuclear threat in a different part of the world that can definitely ruin China. They're upwind from China. Let's call it that. And oddly close to, well, sort of. India is very close to where we've got our Diego Garcia base. Kind of southwestish, if you will, of India. So, yeah, crazy going on there. Donald Trump's going to exempt car makers from some U.S. tariffs responding to the parts. He's going to essentially remove parts from the tariff list, especially the parts made by China. Again, China and U.S. right now are having a tough time. Still haven't made any agreements. We'll get there. Trump truthed this out. Boeing should default China for not taking the beautifully finished planes that China committed to purchase. This is just a small example of what China has done to the USA for years. And, by the way, fentanyl continues to pour into our country from China through Mexico and Canada, killing hundreds of thousands of our people. It better stop now. All right? There you go. China says trade talks with the U.S. haven't even started. Not talking yet. We haven't even talked. So, there you go. Another thing that's going on right now, China cancels U.S. pork shipments. This is one of the things that I think Trump originally negotiated, that they had to buy so much pork from us. China eats a shit ton of pork. And by the way, pork is the other white meat. It's delicious. I love pork. If you somehow religiously can't eat it, that's just a bloody shame. And I'm very, very sorry. But pork is delicious. And Easter we had ham. I've been making I had made split pea soup. By the way, I'd never made it before. Made delicious split pea soup. Put the ham in there, of course. Super good. That's the other thing. I made some black beans. Threw some of the ham in there in the pressure cooker. By the way, cooked ham all the way already. And then you throw that leftover ham into a pressure cooker where you're cooking beans for an hour and a half. Oh yeah, the ham disintegrates when you touch it. When you eat it, it disintegrated. It was weird. Well, not necessarily good. Not bad, just weird. It literally disintegrated. Anyway, pressure cookers are awesome. Highly recommend them. We're hitting a little pork issue. And what's going to happen is we're not going to export as much pork. Trump's going to subsidize the farmers, most likely. Almost guarantee it. And then what's going to happen here locally is we're going to get cheaper pork. Folks, it's just going to help. This is a win-win. So it's all right, China, fuck you. You guys have a lot more people than we do, and you like pork probably more than we do. The exception of bacon. Okay. We'll take your pork. I'll see your pork, and I'll raise you some other stuff. Interior Department is helping to increase oil production in the newly renamed Gulf of America by 100,000 barrels per day. So we are producing more oil. This is one of the things that's going to help make us richer, period. End of story. That's all there is to it. This is one of the things that Trump's going to use to help balance the budget. What's going to be interesting is how this plays out with OPEC Plus, because they don't like the fact that the price of oil is down around $60 right now. We'd love it if it got higher. What's also kind of weird about this is because I don't know anybody that's into the disclosure stuff and some of the crazy technology that exists. There's a strong chance that we have 0 point energy and shit like that. But why, when they can use oil still to make a bunch of money to get through this little weird transition that they're going through? So this to me would suggest disclosure for 0 point energy is maybe a little further out than we'd like. They're going to try to use the old technology, make as much money off it because it's easy money. There's already a lot of infrastructure based on it, and it's just a way to fix this problem. I mean, I get it. It's easier than inventing new industry. So, I get where he's coming from. When it comes to the markets, let's see where we're at right now. Let's make sure we got a good refresh. Yeah, so Dow is up a little. It was up huge earlier. Well, I guess it's not. It's continued to grow. I feel like it was up higher, but whatever. It's up a bit. Broke the 40,000 mark. That's pretty magnificent. Gold, by the way, is up a bunch today, 33.46. So it got obviously back some of that, which essentially means that the dollar has actually lost some value today, or kind of got to where it really belongs. Oil is up a little bit as well. So it's 62.66, which is a weird number, but not as bad as it could be. And things are happening. I didn't look at the treasuries. Don't really care. Just want to remind you guys, I don't know. I would get the ball rolling. If you still have a 401k or an IRA, I would just seriously look into getting out of it. Tax-free, penalty-free. You can get into precious metals. It's protecting your wealth. The prices of these things are going up and up and up. They're just going to continue to until all of this nonsense is dealt with, and then it'll be very easy to transition from precious metals to, something else. I love precious metals. Beautiful stuff. Go to drslikesgold.com, drslikesgold.com. Tax-free, penalty-free, up to 10% of free silver for the face value. So whatever your face value is, up to 10% of that number, free silver. Yeah. It's awesome. Some other cool free stuff. There's also a Ronald Reagan coin that's a half ounce. It's 0.9999% pure with Ronald Reagan on the front. Very, very super cool. If you qualify, you'll get that as well, too. One of the things, you got 4 data points, put them in, hit the button, boom, get me my free stuff. And you click that, it's going to pop up another thing. It's like, call this number in 20 minutes. And it'll start doing a countdown. And if you don't call, it'll blow up. I'm just kidding. It doesn't do that. No, but if you don't call, you don't get the free stuff. If you do call, so you get free stuff. It's kind of cool. So my recommendation would be, if you do this, if you click on it, if you put your 4 data points in, just be able to make a quick phone call to the same phone number or from the same phone number that you're putting in there just to help you. That will get the ball rolling, and you'll be surprised at what wonderful information you're going to come across. So go to drslikesgold.com, drslikesgold.com. Get out of their system before they get out of you, and they definitely want to. News Nation host Chris Cuomo is going to host a town hall with President Donald Trump next week. It should be pretty cool. I was kind of not going to plug this, but I'm like, man, I got to give the guy credit. Cuomo is, I don't know, he's coming out on the right side of this. I don't know about his brother. I don't know about anything, and I'm not speaking for him. Bill O'Reilly, again, not necessarily somebody I love per se, but I like what they're doing right now, and they're going to have a little thing with Trump, and here they are talking about it.
Been a more critical time in our shared professional life to do so than right now. And you have an announcement to make about what we're going to do here on News Nation. What is it, Bill O'Reilly?
1 week from tonight, Cuomo and I will be co-anchoring. Is that fair? It's your hour, but I think they're letting me in as a co-anchor. A town hall of Donald Trump's first 100 days with a live audience, real people. Stephen A. Smith will be there if we can get him away from the Cleveland Cavalier game.
And General Hospital.
And leading off the program will be the President of the United States, Donald Trump.
Donald John Trump will make his witness on the show. A very strong move for him when people are taking a look with a fair perspective of opinions about what he's doing. For him to want to weigh in is a strong move. And I appreciate it happening, and thank you for helping make it happen. Ooh, look how big my head is in that. Well, it's even bigger than Trump's.
Yeah, and I asked for them to make your head as big as possible in the interest of honesty. It wasn't hard for me to convince the president to do it. Right. It wasn't hard because I just said, look, no, because I said everybody else is going to either kiss your butt, first 100 days you're Abraham Lincoln. That's what the right-wing media will do. And first 100 days, you're Hitler or whatever, that's what the left media is going to do. Every other news organization on television in this country will do that, but not us. We'll have a balanced approach of people with different points of view, and because he is the centerpiece, he kicks it off. Now, you and I will question him. He'll be on the phone. will be respectful, I assume, because he's doing us a favor by coming on. There's no doubt about that.
And he's the
I have
president
my
of the
questions
United
already.
States.
Well, yeah, but you can challenge. I've done a lot of presidential interviews, as you know. You can challenge in a respectful way. And that's what we'll do. And then we'll get on the record a lot of the things that people are interested to hear about next Wednesday evening. And then we'll throw it open to a cavalcade of people. And then we'll all go home and charge News Nation every penny we can in expenses. That's my plan.
Oh, boy. You better be careful. The News Nation is not the other places that we have worked. Boy, they will grab you right by the pockets and give you the lunch money shakedown. Bill O'Reilly, thank you for facilitating, and thank you for...
So, yeah, they're going to be doing this interview. I don't know if we'll host it live. It might be worth doing. We'll see if I've got an easy way to pull that off. It'll be next Wednesday, so we'll talk about that a little later when we get closer to it. But strong chance. Might pull that off. We've got this, too. Mike Davis, justice is definitely coming. He was talking to, good God, what's his name? This guy. What the hell's his name? War Room, no, he was on there. Bannon, there we go. Steve Bannon, good guy. Like him. And again, I've seen him. I've been to multiple events where he was actually broadcasting live, so I seen him live. I've never actually talked to him, and I don't think he would talk to me for any reason. If I end up on his show one day, that'll be a crazy moment in time. But this is pretty interesting. Talking about, justice coming.
I just had several meetings at the Trump Justice Department. I met with the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, the Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, the acting number 3, Chad Mizell, and the incoming number 3, Stanley Woodward. And I want to reassure the War Room posse that they are very much on top of what's happening in our country, right? And just because you're not seeing criminal indictments right now does not mean they're not coming. They are very much incoming.
I want you to go back to that team because that's pretty impressive. This is not President Trump's first term Justice Department. Walk through who the players are, starting with Pam.
So Pam Bondi is the Attorney General. She is a rock solid constitutionalist. She's bold. She's fearless. She's not being flashy about what she's doing behind the scenes.
Okay.
But she is very much doing things behind the scenes.
We love Pam.
Yes.
Okay, who else?
She's great.
She's great.
Todd Blanche.
Fabulous.
The Deputy Attorney General.
Took the president on as a client when nobody else would touch it.
And got ostracized for it. Now these law firms are scrambling for Todd's blessing.
Yes.
Now, let's just put it that way.
Yes.
And, good luck to those law firms, especially law firms like Perkins Coie. Good luck.
So he's the deputy.
He's the Deputy Attorney General. He runs the day-to-day of the department. Chad Mizell is Pam's Chief of Staff, who's also the acting number 3, the acting Associate Attorney General.
Is he going to stay? He's doing a great job as Chief of Staff. Is he going to go to be number 3 and give up Chief? He'll stay as Chief.
He's staying as Chief of Staff, which is more important for Chad. It's just more important. Stanley Woodward is going to be the Associate Attorney General once he gets confirmed.
He's moving from the White House.
He's already there. He's already there.
Over at DOJ.
Yeah, he's counselor to the AG right now.
And he was Navarro's lawyer.
Yeah, he was Stanley Woodward's, Walt Nada's.
Yeah.
Was Stanley Woodward was Walt Nada's attorney, the co-defendant on the presidential records case.
Yeah.
President Trump has a rock-solid team of very good lawyers who are battle-tested, who are loyal to the president and his agenda. They should be.
And the word is from Pam and the team is that, hey, we're not going to screw any of these things up. We don't want to hurry it. Things are happening. Stand by.
Justice is definitely coming. Let me just assure the War Room posse, justice is coming, and there's going to be accountability for this unprecedented Republican lawfare where the Biden Justice Department was politicized and weaponized. There's going to be accountability for a lot of these crimes. It takes time to build these crimes. Kash Patel is there. He's doing a hell of a good job. So is Dan Bongino, his deputy. Justice is coming. So just because we don't see it publicly does not mean it's not happening. I know it's happening.
Yeah, freaking happening, folks. And this is us manifesting. It just kind of reminds me of a thing, too. There's a person that sent me an email. This is the hypnotist person, by the way. I talked about them recently, right? And they manifested me talking about hypnotism and giving them a fair shake. which I did exactly what they manifested, which I thought was pretty cool because, frankly, I was just trying to help people make sure they understood that, hypnotism, you better trust the person, otherwise don't do it. But yeah, it was pretty cool. And so, again, we are manifesting this reality. It's just because of you, because of the ripples you are making. We are manifesting this reality. Your experience, my experience may be a little different, but we're all co-creating together. It's pretty fantastic. DNI Gabbard refers Intel officials to DOJ for prosecution over alleged leaks of classified information. I don't think I want to play this because it's way too long. But she is going after these people. These people that are doing leaks, yeah, they're going down. This is a powerful time. And the real good stuff, and the best I can tell, the real good stuff is going to happen the second we know we don't have any leaks. I'm betting. And it's not the secrecy, which I could see people spin it that way. No, it's not that. It's the fact that they can actually get away with going after the deep state. The secrecy. It really does play a part. So, yeah, we'll see how all of this happens. We've also got a former U.S. Army intelligence analyst has been sentenced for selling sensitive military information to individuals tied to the Chinese government. This stuff is going to come to an end. A 25-year-old that's like, hey, I know I made a oath to the Constitution of the United States, protecting it against domestic foreign bastards, foreign and domestic, right? And here is an individual, Mr. Schultz. Draw your own conclusions. Probably somebody that's been in a family line. This is what they do, by the way. It's not necessarily Corbyn's fault, though it is. These things are being stopped. We are fixing the problem. And quickly, by the way. A lot of people, dude, we're 3 months in, folks. 3 months, 3 days. 3 months, 4 days, whatever. 24th today. In case you're playing along at home, which you should be, by the way. This is powerful. Give me 5 minutes to console this chicken bastard. This guy's talking. This is from the Pentagon. This is going to piss you off. This is O'Keefe Media Group doing some good stuff. OMG is right in this particular case.
Same guy who tried to overthrow an election is just like truly setting us down a path of dictatorship. He's illegitimate. He's terribly immoral, breaking every norm. We're going to resist him. Everything he does.
James O'Keefe here in Arlington, Virginia, in front of the Pentagon. The branch chief inside the Pentagon saying on hidden camera he's going to resist against Trump and Hegseth. Now, since President Trump was elected and assigned Pete Hegseth as Secretary of Defense, the DoD has faced a number of leaks in the past few months from employees inside the Pentagon.
There's some type of deep state forces that want to make sure you don't stay there.
They've come after me from day one, just like they've come after President Trump. I mean, I've gotten a fraction of what President Trump got in that first term.
The Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, has been going on media interviews expressing that there are people within the Pentagon who want to resist the president and hurt his policies.
I know exactly why I'm here, to rip out the insidious ideologies and not compromise and not back down, to reestablish standards and accountability.
Nicholas Terza, a branch chief within the DoD, expressed dissatisfaction with his new boss, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, claiming he is too young for the job.
So I'm assuming that your boss isn't Pete Hegseth.
Ultimately, he is my boss.
Okay.
But this is insane. I actually know Pete Hegseth.
You do? Like personally?
But this is so crazy. Like, that's not a good reflection on me. That's a bad reflection on Trump. Like, nobody I know should be the Secretary of Defense.
Oh, no.
Like, he's insanely young to be the part, and he wasn't that high up in the military. He used to be in the D.C. National Guard.
Oh, did you guys work together? Or?
Yeah, I mean, in our side hustle in the National Guard.
Oh.
And I met him in my unit. He was just in my unit.
Oh.
And I don't know, I can go on about Pete Hegseth.
Now, Nicholas Terza claims that he knows Hegseth from the D.C. National Guard, but we spoke to a senior official at the Pentagon who said that's not true, that Hegseth has not ever heard of this man or seen him.
But what do you think the intent is? Is it like they want to hurt America?
I think they don't care who they hurt. To enact change that they see making America a populist conservative framework, more traditional, even if that means being more sexist or racist or chauvinist.
Terza also saying on hidden camera he did not know he was being recorded, that Trump is an illegitimate president, an immoral dictator, and they plan to resist everything Trump does.
The same guy who tried to overthrow an election is just like truly setting us down a path of dictatorship. He's illegitimate. He's terribly immoral, breaking every norm. We're gonna resist him. Everything he does. I'm a very patriotic person, and I've never been less patriotic.
Now, the reason this is concerning, the Department of Defense is often directly responsible for the president's safety in the event of travel, events, campaign rallies, and everything else.
What's your least favorite thing about Trump?
Oh, that he utterly lacks any moral principle. The worst thing about him is his utter lack of moral principle. The second worst thing about him is how stupid he could be.
Should the president's safety be entrusted with people who believe that he is illegitimate and immoral? And here we have a field trip. Let's take a look. People are coming in. Hello, everyone. How you doing? This is James O'Keefe reporting live in front of the Pentagon at the Memorial Air Force.
That's enough stuff. Yeah. Right? Yeah. No. So, again, I love how if you hate Trump enough, it's okay. He's the stupidest, he's the dumbest, and he hates people, and he punches babies in the buttholes. Like, we make up plenty of shit on our side of the fence. I can't take it away. I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. This is the kind I love this. Like, I had a boss when I worked in radio. I've stopped now. But when my boss, it was one of the things the Fridays were kind of a special thing every few Fridays. Like, it's usually once a month, I want to say. But they literally had a cart that had cakes in it. And they'd drive it around everybody's desks and you'd get a beer. And so sort of similar to kind of what that was, but these are the moments that I know, like, bosses love. They actually love this. Not just because they're doing cool stuff, but that they actually get to interact with people that they don't generally get to interact with. And it is kind of a special moment. And here's J.D. Vance interacting with our armed forces. And I forget what base this is. What base was this? Ramstein Air Force Base. Was it Germany? I think so, right? I think I'm right on that. Whatever. Ramstein sounds painful, I'll tell you that. Throw some fucking spit on it or some Vaseline. We've talked about that before. Check it out. What's a pretty damn sweet home, Alabama, at Ramstein. Ouch. Felt like that burned. It burned a little. House Republican GOP Senator peddling conspiracy theories about 9/11. Yeah. Oh, my God. 9/11. Yeah. Pretty cool. Rep Mike Lawler. He's a Republican. New York. Interesting. I know. Those two words go together? I don't think so. He rebuked Senator Ron Johnson, Republican, Wisconsin, on Tuesday evening for peddling conspiracy theories about 9/11 attacks. Johnson, in an interview this week with conservative influencers, said he wants to hold additional hearings on the attacks of the World Trade Center complex in New York after watching a documentary and speaking to others who doubt the government's probe into the attack that killed nearly 3,000 people, including hundreds of first responders. He says there are a host of questions that I will be asking, quite honestly, now that my eyes have been opened. What's weird is people won't watch, just won't even watch conspiracy theories. Because it's like, the craziest example I can give to illustrate this, and I'm not trying to, but it's a great example. The concept of what the devil does, or its understandings of things, or how it tries to do ceremonies and stuff like that, right? Like reading stuff about that to some is like, I wouldn't dare. But it's like, well, you should understand it, right? And they're like, no, but just by reading it, the devil will come into you, right? Like, it's that level of fear that people don't want to even watch a 9/11 documentary, which there has been a bunch of really good ones. Dude, if JFK would have died today, if Trump when they killed him, almost. Yeah. Can you imagine the way that would have been publicized immediately? There's no way they would have pulled it off. Arr, my favorite Democrats. Arr. I love a good pirate, matey. Get your gold and silver. DRS likes gold.com. Arr, matey. Yeah, I don't know why I love calling him a pirate because he was going through cancer treatment or whatever the shit his fucking dark soul was going through. You fucking horrible human being. I hope you find the light, by the way, and I'm fine always with accepting people. Forgiveness. And this is one of the funny moments, by the way. Everyone says, right? You get pissed off at some people. You God damn, he'll die and burn in hell. Ah! Right? But, well, all he's got to do is ask for forgiveness from Jesus Christ, and that's true. I'm just saying. I was brought up Catholic. All you got to do in Catholic is go to confession. Be like, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been 1,900 years since the last time I've come and spoke to your punk ass. But here's all the bullshit I've done that you probably aren't fond of. I mean, like, a couple act of contritions and some Hail Marys and Our Father, and bam, man, my soul's clean. It's the same thing. Again, I think God loves us way stronger than that, but we'll get there. But, matey, back to my story of the pirates. Judiciary Committee ranking member Jamie Raskin, Democrat from Maryland, in case you didn't know, who's asking FBI Director Kash Patel to investigate President Donald Trump's, I feel like I'm on a Disneyland ride right now, whatever the fuck, investigating President Donald Trump's nominee for the U.S. Attorney in Washington, D.C., Ed Martin, after he failed to disclose more than 150 Russian media appearances. Literally, Ed Martin, the guy that's going to, or is, taking control of the Southern District of New York. I've been saying it for a long time. Ed Martin, the guy they won't confirm, and Trump's like, so temporarily I'm going to put the guy in there that you won't confirm in there. Fuck you. Dar matey, we don't agree with you. Yeah, I get you, deep state. So Raskin called on the FBI director to open an investigation after the Washington Post reported last week that Martin did not detail that he appeared in Russian Times, RT, Russia Today, whatever the hell. Great, actually, by the way, great website. I do recommend it. It gives you good perspective of what Russia's going through. I actually think it's one of probably their closest to, not as propagandized, still propagandized, but I think RT's, I don't know, I think they've done a good job. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Pete Hegseth, total fake story. No orders, no makeup. Really? This is what's here? All right, we've already talked about that. We have. At least I know that. One thing I know we've talked about, but it doesn't mean I should stop talking about it. STEM Active. I love this stuff. Love it. In fact, it's funny. So I've got this is cute. All right, Laura, girl from Starbucks. I see her only on Thursdays that she gets to work at my store, so we get to see her. My girlfriend loves her. I love her. She's just this really cool chick. She's a cop, too. We like it. She's a cop. She carries a gun. It just makes her hot. I don't know what it is. Chicks that carry guns, super hot. I don't know what it is. Whatever the case is. She's using STEM Active. She's had shoulder issues. She's going through some stuff. And she's actually realizing how much stress plays a part, by the way, too. So keep that in mind, guys. But she's this going on. I gave her, we got some Healthy Home, the Amaze. And I gave her some because I bought some extra just to, share. And she's going to try it out. I'm going to let you know what I've said. My girlfriend, we haven't talked about it in a while. I've just kind of left it alone. And her friggin' thing on her face is looking amazing. Collagen peptides helping with that. The shoulders, Laura, I don't know why, and my girlfriend, both. My girlfriend's actually, it's been a couple months. She has calcification. It's been a couple months. They were talking. I didn't want to get in the middle of it. When I got there a little late. My girlfriend shows up at the Starbucks. I meet her there, and it's kind of how we start our day together, She doesn't live with me, so it's how we meet up. And they were just two women. I was like, oh, I don't even want to get near this. They're talking about whatever the hell they were talking about. I don't even friggin' know. But they're having experiences that are talking about their shoulders, their damages, their injuries, and how they're feeling better. It's because of this stuff. danradiostyle.healthyhome.com. danradiostyle.healthyhome.com. Stem Active, just get your own body to create more stem cells. Your own body creates more stem cells. It's not stems being injected from fetal tissue or anything stupid like that. No, your body creates 25 to 40% more stem cells, something that we start to not do when we get older. And stem cells can become any cell in the body. That's what's cool about them. They're the only cell that can do that. So if your heart has damage or skin has damage or muscle has damage and you need a muscle cell, well, stem cells can become a muscle cell. I like to call them androgynous. I just think it makes it funny for me. But they can become a muscle cell or a lung cell or a heart cell or whatever the hell they need to be. That's what they become. Stem Active helps your body create more of those natural, homeopathic, basically. It's powerful stuff. It works. There's pills. Some people say they're huge. They're not that big, but whatever. If you're worried about taking pills in any way, the gel is actually a little bit less expensive. Get it. You take the little gel. It's a liquid. Tastes delicious. Boom. Move on. Get your day going. You get the stem cells bumped up. Balance. Another thing that's going to help with the hormones as we age. Ladies, I don't want to get into it, but this is plant-based. It's not hormone replacement in any way, shape, or form. It literally helps your body move through this transition beautifully. I just recommend checking it out. It's called Balance. Again, the collagen supplement. You got saggy skin. You want to help grow your hair and all these things. This is the collagen's the protein that's used. Use it. Get into it. Get more of it. This peptide, it's liquid, gets into your system very quickly. It's very powerful. Prime Extra Energy. It's awesome. Highly recommend for you guys that work out like me. I take it in the morning before I go. Just gives me more energy. And that Mike Lindell drink. That's been helping a bunch too. Stem Active for pets. You got a pet that's gone through a surgery or anything like that. Their stem cells are the same thing in their body. It helps them heal. This is actually like ridiculous. It's like 60, 70 bucks, something like that. It's surprisingly inexpensive compared to, someone said this stuff's made of gold up here. Kind of is. Way more than that. But it's actually making a difference, a huge difference. I noticed it. I dislocated my shoulder. I was having pains. It's actually gone away. It's tripping me out. A lot of things come. Go to danradiostyle.healthyhome.com. Go to shop. That's what you want to do. You want to get your stem active for sure. If you want energy and you work out, get your Prime. Balance if you want to try. Ladies, I don't want to step on toes. There's a lot of incredible products. Go to danradiostyle.healthyhome.com. You're going to see what we're talking about, and you're going to be stoked when you try them. And again, healthy thoughts, healthy living, healthy manifestation. That's how you become more healthy. I'm just saying. All right, removing them is what we want to do. Yeah. Venezuela is likely weaponizing Tren de Aragua against migration against the United States. Now, this is coming out right now. The reason this is coming out right now is because right now Trump is kind of making a claim that these people are literally trying to infiltrate us. Whether this story is true or not true, it doesn't matter. It plays well to the bigger picture, which is, yeah, we need to export a bunch of badass people immediately. And that is what we're going to do. I was actually referencing this earlier, and this is funny as hell. So U.S. border, you come across, you're a good-looking young gentleman or whatever, right? You come across, like, illegally. But then all of a sudden, you, get involved with the gangs. You start getting some tats on you, the ones you shouldn't specifically. You get a little more grumpy, not as sweet like you used to be. And then you get arrested by ICE. And then you end up in, CCOT. Well, Donald Trump retweeted this. So that's what happens. You might have come here. You might have been a sweet, loving family man that got involved with the gangs. It's not okay. U.S. brings first terrorism charges against alleged Venezuelan gang member. This is happening. They're calling it terrorism specifically. I think they're just playing around just to see what they can do, ways they can get rid of people. But Jose Enrique Martinez Flores, I'm surprised he didn't have 3 more names. He was charged with a new indictment with conspiring to provide and providing material support to a foreign terrorist organization, according to court filings. This is what's going to happen. We'll see. I won't spend a bunch of time on it. There's all sorts of these cases happening. Federal judge gives DOJ another week in the Obrego Garcia deportation case. He was deported last month. We know that, right? We've been talking about this guy for a while. course, the government says he's an MS-13 gang member, and the court's like, yeah, but what are you doing to get him back? And you've got a week, an extra week, to tell us what is it that you're doing, because he already filed a document, whoever the lawyer guy is, or the spokeshole. He's like, here's the thing. Well, best we understand, he just got transferred out because the congressman went there. There you go. There's your information, court. Suck it, I think, is pretty much how he followed up with that. So, yes, military deportations are not covered by the order halting DHS removals, says the admin. What this means is, it seems within the Trump mind at least, and we'll see this play out. And I'm sure another court's going to come out and do an injunction against this, but they can't because it's a federal thing. But there's a difference between the Department of Homeland Security doing something and the Department of Defense doing something. So Trump has switched these deportations from DHS experience, which would be your Border Patrol and stuff like that, into Department of Defense, protecting our homeland. And courts have no contesting of that. They're going to contest it anyways, but they can't legally. So Trump is just coming back at them in a way that, well, makes a hell of a lot of sense. So Trump administration, they moved Venezuelan to Texas for possible deportation despite judge's order. I told you guys this. I don't know if this one came straight from Colorado. I don't think that this one did. I want to say they were Massachusetts, maybe? I forget where they're. I'm trying to scan the article. I'm not seeing it. But they took a Pennsylvania. They took a Venezuelan man that was in Pennsylvania that was basically saying, look, you can't deport him. And they're like, all right. And I said this yesterday, by the way. This is the easy way around this. All he did was just move them to Texas, and Texas is going to be like, hell yeah, you can deport their fuck asses. Get them shit out of here, y'all. That's horse shit. I'm trying to break it into some legitimate tech and tacos. I don't know. There you go. Now it's Texas. Now we're talking. Now we're talking, people. Yeah. Donald Trump, truth this. He's at war with the colleges. We know this, right? But there's something going on here, especially with Harvard. Lots of money we're talking about. And, of course, Harvard's responding. But Trump, truth this. Harvard is an anti-Semitic, far-left institution. By the way, for him, is this liable? Just right off the bat, folks. Trump's doing this on purpose. I dare you, Harvard. Bring it, bitches, is what Trump is saying, not me. I couldn't afford the lawsuit. It's not worth it right now, anyways. I'd have to really make some friends quickly. But Trump, Harvard is an anti-Semitic, far-left institution, as are numerous others, with students being accepted from all over the world that want to rip our country apart. The place is liberal mess, allowing a certain group of crazed lunatics to enter and exit the classroom and spew fake anger and hate. It is truly horrific. Now, since our filings began, they act like they are all American apple pie. Harvard is a threat to democracy with a lawyer who represents me, who should therefore be forced to resign immediately or be fired. He's not that good anyway. And I hope that my very big and beautiful company, now run by my sons, get rid of him ASAP. Trump's like, whoa, kids, get rid of this fucker now. Which we'll see. Trump signs a flurry of 7 executive orders targeting education. I had a couple of these, and then it was just like, well, this is an easier article to do this. So he has done 7 major executive orders, I don't want to oversell, that are around education. First, White House initiative to promote excellence and innovation at historically black colleges and universities. Transparency regarding foreign influence at American universities. Sounds like a fun idea. Advancing artificial intelligence education for American youth. This is getting AI into schools, by the way. And a lot of people, oh, that's horrible. In reality, if we're ever going to be huge with AI, we need kids to be playing with it at a very early age so they can start to think about how they could utilize this in more powerful ways. And that's really what it comes down to. And that's how you're going to build a more resilient AI, one that's more likely capable of helping us. Again, not real fond of artificial intelligence, but I think there's a lot of places for it. I think there's a lot of places where it can help us. And I think, frankly, spiritually, it can't touch anybody that's actually from the higher densities because AI is operating, I think, on this dimension and this density, and it's not aware of stuff that exists outside of here. So I think there's a place for both of us, frankly. Reforming accreditation to strengthen higher education. Trump's trying to open up accreditation school or options, I should say, to schools. I think essentially what the point of this is the accreditation of colleges is controlled by a very small group of people that force you into like DEI and stuff like that. So he's putting a stop on that too. So he's doing some stuff to make a difference when it comes to Speaking of stuff, when it comes to getting all the DEI crap out of there. Application is denied, they say. Trump wins victory over businesses that aim to stop tariffs with trade court lawsuit. Yeah, it got shut down. There's some companies that are like, it's not fair. He's going to cause harm to us. And they're like, we didn't really prove that any harm has happened yet, that irreparable harm's coming, and it's not, as you haven't demonstrated it. So they shut that one down. Again, there's plenty of new ones always popping up, but there's many of them that get shut down. A dozen states are now suing Trump to stop his tariffs. States. Yeah, 12 states. Democrat states, of course. Probably, it's funny, there's only 12 now, because there's been higher numbers earlier. Now those numbers are starting to wane. One, they can't afford it. Two, they realize what's going to happen. They're going to lose money. So only 12 states are dumb enough, or that think they're powerful enough, are actually going to get hosed. So there's more that are suing Trump because of the tariffs, whatever. It's going to play out. Department of Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, he's threatened to withhold funding from the states that refuse to comply with President Donald Trump's executive orders, warning them that utilizing diversity, equity, and inclusion, aka DEI, anybody doing those practices and resisting compliance with immigration and customs enforcement could result in enforcement actions being taken by the Department of Transportation as well. Trump administration hitting the states on all levels. No funding for your roads, no funding for your environment, no funding for anything. We're shutting it down, and most states will immediately go bankrupt. Well, not immediately. Won't last long. Let's put it that way. Now, they're going to fight it in court, but Trump's got a mandate that the entire nation must follow, and states that don't follow it, well, how else can we as a federal government make it painful for you to not follow the truth? Which, by the way, the Biden administration did as well, especially with Texas and Florida. Yeah, how do we get past that, huh? How do we just, the left's losing their shit right now. They can't control this. They can't force it. It's awesome. Trump administration on Thursday asked the Supreme Court to let it begin to enforce a ban on transgender service members, escalating a fight over controversial policy that has faced numerous legal setbacks in recent weeks. Again, they're just like, look, while we work this out, let us keep these individuals from the front lines, please. It would cause harm. It would cause irreparable harm. It would cause harm immediately. What does it hurt to leave them out of the front lines for the moment? I don't think there's any way the Supreme Court can't let Trump at least keep them out for now while they work through this, which, yeah, whatever. I don't think they get special treatment, but we'll see. San Francisco, a sanctuary city that's a friggin' mess, by the way. They have a district court, a district judge that likely lives in San Francisco. That federal judge, she's blocking the Trump administration from withholding federal funds from sanctuary jurisdictions, claiming doing so would be unconstitutional. Sanctuary cities are unconstitutional, by the way. And this lady's saying by withholding money from cities that are doing this illegal thing, I should say, which makes it unconstitutional, that they are somehow the ones at fault. I can't wait. I am loving this. I can't even tell you guys. I love this. Trump administration attempting to make federal funding to schools conditional on them eliminating any DEI policies. You want money? You got to stop the DEI stuff. He's got a big old thing going on, DEI for K through 12. This is one of the things that I think was probably called out in that other article. We got an unredacted Hunter Biden search warrants detailing payments linked to Ukraine and China. Again, they keep bringing this up. I'm just keeping it on the burner for whatever reason. Part of me wants to move on past this, but I realize, like the elections, we need to fix the problem. And I think the nailing the Bidens is going to be part of that. Biden was the worst president in the history of the world. He's going to make a perfect fall guy for this. So I think they will destroy his entire family name. And anybody that ever touched them will be considered tainted. And so the Clintons will be on that. Obama's going to be on that. There's going to be a lot of stank to go around. Don't you worry. Lots of stank. Paramount and CBS end lawful DEI policies following an AFL lawsuit. Good job, AFL. American Freedom, America First Legal. That's AFL. They just continuing to sue people like crazy. It's awesome. Donald Trump put this out in regards to Fox News. Rupert Murdoch has told me regarding the Wall Street Journal, whatever. Rupert Murdoch has told me for years that he is going to get rid of his Fox News Trump-hating fake pollster, but he has never done so. This pollster has gotten me and MAGA wrong for years. Also, and while he's at it, he should start making changes at the China-loving Wall Street Journal. It sucks. I just like that Trump is throwing some shade on everybody. Dem senator visits detained Colombia activist who said he can't empathize with Hamas's decisions to massacre Jews, or he can't empathize. Again, Senator Peter Welsh, Democrat, Vermont, visited this detained pro-Hamas, pro-Palestine, pro-whatever dude that was involved in stuff he shouldn't have been, that they're going to deport. It's coming. Woke Minnesota District Attorney lets Tesla thug walk, signaling its open season on Team Trump. It's going to be interesting to see where this lesbian goes with this. I'm assuming she's a lesbian. She looks like one, but that might be wrong. That just might be a really bad hairdo. Not sure. She's got lesbian written all over her, though. Pretty sure. Screaming it. Right? In some sort of weird shrieky way, too, probably. I wonder if she sounds like Hillary Clinton. I haven't actually listened to her. Don't want to. I wonder. Look at those eyes. Damn, that's some anger. There's some anger in those eyes. You said you were where last night? Yeah, I don't have a... Holy crap. Right? Scary. Scary stuff. Minnesota's a mess right now. Yeah. Other than talking funny, they need to fix their shit. Minnesota, get your shit together, folks. We need you guys to make some ripples locally, if it's legal still. I don't know if it is. Here's Hegseth talking about how he's working on reinstating 8,700 servicemen that were discharged for not taking the COVID vaccine.
We're also welcoming back former service members who were wrongly forced to leave the military. More than 8,700 service members were involuntarily separated for not taking an experimental COVID-19 vaccine. Others were more informally pushed out or decided to get out. We are welcoming actively back those warriors of conscience. We've sent letters out. We're seeking them out. We want them back. They never should have been forced to come back quickly. Personnel and Readiness Department is working in real time to make that process.
Yeah, I got no problems with what's going on in our administration right now. I know people are like, oh, you should be angry. I'm not. No, I think you should stop listening to those people that think you should be angry. TheRootBrands.com/Dan Radio Style. Again, more great products. They've got some good stuff. Relive Greens. They got a lot of stuff. There's some blender food, and I highly recommend their blender food. I call it blender food because if you make smoothies or do it on even a somewhat regular basis, this is definitely a company that you want to get some of your goods from. They've got a bunch. They Give Me Back My Youth, collagen, and all that good stuff. They've also got the Relive Greens, which is not on this page. They've also got Crush, which I like Sculpt because it's a pill. Crush I've got out of reach right now, but it needs to go into a blender. And I love it. It's got all the amino acids. It's what you want. So again, if you're doing shakes, if you're doing protein shakes, Relive Greens. It's green. It's going to turn whatever the hell you put it into green, but it's got all the fruits and vegetables. It's just amazing products. I love these guys. TheRootBrands.com/Dan Radio Style. TheRootBrands.com/Dan Radio Style. Incredible products helping you get healthy. They've got creams. They've got facelift stuff. They've got amazing products. They've even got stuff if you've had too much to drink the night before. They've also got this clean slate, which actually cleans out a lot of the heavy metals that are in our bodies. They've got amazing products. You got to check them out. Clean Slate especially. A few drops on your tongue twice a day, you're going to notice the difference. It's powerful. Go to The Root Brands, ROOT, TheRootBrands.com/Dan Radio Style, TheRootBrands.com/Dan Radio Style. I'm telling you, healthy living, healthy products, it's a big part of, I think, where we're heading until we can get our food and everything else and replicators and all the other weird shit. Like, until we can get all that, we need to sort of supplement ourselves, keep ourselves healthy. Doing the right thing. TheRootBrands.com/Dan Radio Style. Former president, there's another president happening in South Korea that's just indicted on a bribery charge. I don't know what's going on right now. I seriously don't. Because they could all be dirty. It would make sense. It's a lot of the past people. I still wonder if the last guy was doing the right thing, but I don't know. There's something going on in South Korea big time. South Koreans, my heart goes out to you. Prayers go out to you. I love you guys. I hope you guys, I'm sure there's like 0 of you watching my show right now. I hope you guys are seriously getting through this because this is kind of crazy, right? A lot of arrests going on. Bolsonaro's another one from Brazil. Like, there's a lot of weird stuff going on right now. That's it seems like the deep state trying to stop people from doing what needs to be done. Donald Trump truthed this out. Says, I'm not happy with the Russian strikes on Kyiv. Not necessary and a very bad timing. Vladimir, stop. 5,000 soldiers a week are dying. Let's get the peace deal done. Now, Trump's doing what he's got to do, and I get it. And Putin's doing what he's got to do, but he just had 3 vehicles blow up, by the way, and I think it was Moscow. And there has been some interesting drone sighting I just saw recently where they had stuff in the Moscow area that looked like it was possibly Kyiv doing something. They ended up shooting it down, let's put it that way. So weird stuff's going on. He attacked Kyiv again, which is just Kiev, but it's how they say it when it's pronounced in Ukrainian. Kind of like Quebec versus Quebec. Like, it's the same thing. It's just if you say it in French, it's Quebec, right? Otherwise, English, it's Quebec. They're both correct, by the way, unless you're a Quebecois, in which case you're like, no, it's Quebec. And then in which case you'd be like, that's why I say you're douchey. It's not because you're a bad person. You're a good person. You're just douchey. Ty Clevenger has fired off a blistering letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi. This is all around, again, we've talked about it. I'm bringing it up again and again and again. Seth Rich. When the time comes, I'm sure, 1, this stuff's involved in investigations. I'm sure it is. 2, a lot of this stuff is tied up in the Southern District of New York. Hello. Well, I keep saying that. And many would just be like, in their minds, are like, why can't we just take control? We kick down the doors. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's that easy. Don't know. But what I can tell is it's super harder than just kicking down the door. So I don't know. But Seth Rich is tied up in that too. Epstein's tied up in that. A lot of shit's tied up in Southern District of New York. Trust me. So we're going to work through this. Just helping keep it on the front burner. Of course, it's bad. Seth Rich, totally. Hillary Clinton probably had something to do with killing him. She's big with the shooting thing. She probably had something to do with that dude that was shot on the streets in New York, the healthcare guy, right? Probably. That's kind of her motif. I'm not saying she did it. I'm just saying, like, a lot of the stuff that we've usually attributed to her is usually done that way. I don't know. It's alleged at this point. I have no idea. EPA head demands answers from companies putting sulfur dioxide in the air to address global warming. There's this company that's like, yeah, we're going to spray this stuff in the air and we'll make sure that we stop global warming. You just pay us money and we'll do it. Well, Lee Zeldin's like, no, I don't think so. Environmental Protection Agency's like, you're spraying stuff in the air that's not necessarily good. We want to know what it is. We want to know what you're spraying. And then we're going to do a little bit of a study to see if that's actually maybe not a good thing to be spraying in the air. That's called getting rid of geoengineering, is what that is. California homeowners allege home insurance companies colluded to deny coverage. There's this weird thing. There's this California Fair Plan. And this California Fair Plan is created by Gavin Newsom in California. and actually works with the insurance companies. And it's this weird thing where they don't really pay for stuff so much as when it was just regular insurance and there was an emergency. But the problem California has is, one, they're screwing around with the insurance companies saying you can't raise your rates fast, which, by the way, is kind of cool when you're somebody that has to pay these stupid rates and you don't have a choice, right? Like, I have to have this insurance and you're overcharging me for it. Like, what did I do different? I didn't stop being a good driver, yet my driver's insurance has gone through the damn roof. So this is happening, and this is what we're finding, it seems, that these insurance companies are working with California in this weird thing where we have to pay less. But so anyway, we're getting effed, and it's coming to the front. We're just boiling this up, folks. I'm sure there's other states that are like trying to copy California in this, but the California Fair Plan. So this lawsuit names California's largest home insurer, State Farm, Farmers, Berkshire Hathaway, Allstate, and Liberty Mutual, which, by the way, makes some of the best commercials out there. Some of the best, I think. I think they're the ones that have the emu, right? Isn't that them? I feel like it's them, the yellow people. Whatever is it? I don't know who it is. Whoever they are. Doesn't matter. I'm not saying they're a good company. They're probably not, but whatever. Trump just gave people with useless degrees a huge reality check. Apparently, the administration is going to start collecting on the student loan debt. A lot of people don't want to pay it. A lot of people haven't been paying it since 2020. And here we are. They're going to start doing it now. And this was the thing that Joe Biden kept trying to write off. So this is going to start happening. This is a lot of money. A lot of people are going to start crying. And they did do kind of a call out for people that had like underwater basket weaving degrees, like your liberal arts bullshit. Those people is like, yeah, and you're probably not going to be able to get a job that's ever going to pay you anything with that stupid degree because it's a stupid degree. They kind of called it out. They didn't use exactly my words, but they got to that point. Alex Soros, the son of notorious billionaire George Soros, you might have heard of him. And he's the chair of the Open Society Foundations. They took aim at left-wing climate groups. They're pissed. They're like, dude, we've been giving you guys money. He is not saying this. I'm putting words in his mouth. He says, dudes, you guys are like, you're all pissed off about Palestine right now. You need to be pissed off at climate. Climate's where we need you guys to be pissed about climate, not Palestine. Who cares? Because he's Jewish, by the way, this George Soros or this Alex Soros character. He is Jewish, I guess, by birth. So, yeah, he's a little more like, hey, stop hating on the Jews so much and be more like, oh, my God, we're going to die from solar storm. Or, well, actually, sorry, from storms, from wind and rain. It's going to kill us horribly. It's bad. Wow. Anyways. Folks, we got the show coming up here with the Law of One. I'm loving it. 9 and 10 today. Episodes 9, episode 10. You don't have to join live. I love it when you guys do. I don't really pay attention to the chat as much. I ask questions at the end. Like if you guys have questions, I try to go through it. And I've got someone that's kind enough usually to be there and help me sort of navigate any questions that pop up. So we do try to take questions, but I'm very focused on like a stream of consciousness, trying to give you guys the best version or understanding that I have of this information at this time. This is something that I've read through a number of times. It's very good information. It's channeled information. I hope you join or at least check it out. I do recommend you start at the first episode because it'll give you a feel for how Law of One plays out and then catch up. There's a lot to binge watch so far, and there's going to be many, many more. There's over 100 episodes total, sessions, I should say, 100 sessions. So it'll be about 50 episodes easy. I think this is going to be something that's going to help many of us make it through this next step to get through the eye of the needle, as I've frequently called it. The world's changing. We are evolving. And that evolution is a very personal experience for each one of us. And some of us, by the way, have already ascended through the third density that we're actually going through. I just wonder, that was something I meant to bring up. Many of us that are fourth, fifth, sixth density, we've already graduated. You're not graduating again. It's not like you're going to have the ability to get withheld from what you've already done. You're going to get through this fine. But there's a number of people that are third density that are trying to graduate to fourth density. Most of us, in my audience anyways, are trying to help with that. So please understand, you're not at risk of not graduating. You're here to help. You're here with the flashlight and a badge. We made sure of it. I love you guys. Thank you for doing this with me. Where we go one, we go all. It's On the Fringe with Dan Radio Style.